Well, Newfoundland and Labrador, you done me dirty. I am very upset with you. Your government of education is garbage. I'm much less upset than I was this morning. I mean, I'm still the same amount of upset, I'm just expressing it differently. This morning, I woke up to an email letting me know that my application for a teaching certificate there was declined. It was declined because I have a criminal record. Now, that doesn't necessarily upset me in and of itself, because I know that when I apply for a teaching certificate, there's a lot of factors, and that could be one of them. However, what upsets me is that it says in the email that it was declined because my criminal record is not clear. Like, it says, because you have a criminal record, period. It doesn't matter what it was. It doesn't matter what's on my criminal record. It's just the fact that I have one. Now, if you were going to decline my application based off the fact that I have a criminal record, period, why didn't you tell me that up front? It is nowhere on the website. It is nowhere on the application that I've been able to see. I would call them right now, but there's a friggin' like 4 or 5 hour time difference. So if I'm working, I can never call and actually talk to them about this stuff. And obviously they're not open on weekends. So yeah, if I had known that, oh, you know, they don't hire people if they have a criminal record, why would I have applied? Wasted my time, my energy, and money. Near $300 of it just to apply and get all these documents and everything sent to them that I need to get, which is just, I think I had to gather like 6 different documents and get them from the University of Saskatchewan, from the Alberta Teachers Association, from the Saskatchewan Teaching Federation, from the school districts that I've worked in, all these things, and you have to pay for them in criminal record checks, and then pay for the application in itself, just to like give them money just to look at your application. Well, I wouldn't have bothered with any of that had you told me up front, hey, we don't hire people with criminal records, period. Just letting you know before you apply that there's no point in you applying. Every other school district doesn't have that policy, or every other one that I've applied to. Sorry, not school district, province, for a teaching certificate. Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC. I don't know about the other ones, but I mean, for them, there wasn't anything saying like, hey, if you have one, we won't hire you, so I applied. And coincidentally, I also obtained a certificate because they looked at what was on my record and said, okay, yeah, that's nothing. You did some graffiti like 11, 12 years ago. Okay, cool beans, doesn't matter anymore, whatever, you're good. Whereas, apparently Newfoundland and Labrador say, hey, if you have one, period, we're not gonna hire you, but we're not gonna tell you that until after you spend the money. Like, you may as well have just said anything. Just say it up front. Just say, hey, by the way, we don't hire people in their 30s. Okay, cool, I won't apply. It's that simple. I'll be like, oh, okay, that sucks. I guess I'll have to apply when I'm 40. Because that's kind of what it's like. I just can't, like, why would you not have said that up front? Been forthright. Instead of just getting people's money that wouldn't have bothered to apply if the information was there. I shouldn't have stopped the video when I did, but I thought I was done, and I'm not done, because I'm done with that. But like, this is the thing, and I've talked about this before at least once, that I'm trapped. Like, I'm just trapped in this system, and despite the fact that I did it to myself, it doesn't help me. It doesn't help people. It doesn't help anybody. Like, my criminal history is history. It's over a decade old, and it was nothing dangerous. There was no harm done to anyone physically, including myself. Like, there's no abuse to be had other than maybe inanimate objects like walls. Like, I just don't, like, I understand very well what I did and how it was wrong and how I shouldn't have done it, and I'm only saying that because, like, yes, I'm very aware, like, the people's property, city property, it's not mine, I can't just go paint on it. Yes, I get it. Okay, got it. Deal with the consequences. But the fact that these are the consequences still, that's the problem. Is that, like, I get annoyed with myself at saying that, like, yeah, I'm basically saying I expect help. But like, you put me in a system where now it costs close to $1,000 for me to even apply to get a record suspension. They don't do pardons anymore. It's called a record suspension. So applications, like all these teaching applications and stuff, whether it's for certificates for a province or for school districts, anything for a job or whatever that I've ever seen asks you in a very specific way, and I'm not going to be able to quote it verbatim, but it's something similar to, do you or have you ever been charged and or convicted with a criminal offense that was not pardoned? So if you say no to that, the way that it's worded is that you could be saying no to either one. You could be saying, no, I've never been charged with anything, or like, no, I've never been charged with anything that I didn't get a pardon for. It's worded that way, I'm fairly sure, by law, so that they don't know whether or not you have a criminal record or not, like, or whether you ever had one. Because if you obtain a record suspension, that's the whole point of it, is to say, hey, I've waited 10 years to be eligible. I've waited 10 years to be eligible to pay you money. The application in itself is over $600, and the other 400 and something that I'm talking about is all these documents you have to get from the courts and cities and other places that you've lived and committed crimes or whatever. There's like a bunch of different forms and stuff you need, fingerprints and all the stuff that needs to get paid for, that you have to put into the application. But anyway, I've waited 10 years to be eligible to apply, to pay you money for you to look at this application. And like, man, I lost my train of thought. The whole thing is that like, that I pay, and then if they say, oh yeah, let's just suspend your record, the whole point of that is that it doesn't, that I don't have to tell anyone like that I say no. Like, I'm not lying when I on the application say no. No, I have not ever been charged and convicted with a crime that I was not pardoned for. Or to their knowledge, it just means that I've never been charged or convicted. I don't have to give up that information, because obviously there's bias. So the whole point of it is that, hey, the people that the governing body, the Crown has said, hey, we see the changes you made in your life. We understand that these things weren't really a big deal in the first place. You've waited 10 years. You've never reoffended in any way of any kind of whatever. Like, you're good. So you don't need to tell anyone that you've got a criminal record anymore, because for all intents and purposes, you don't have one. Yeah. So that's the thing. I can't say no to that thing. I always have to say yes. And then I've got to give them a criminal record check, and most people are fine with it because they're not idiots. And yeah, but then when there's a job that says, hey, you just can't, or it's not even a job. I can't apply for jobs in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm not allowed to apply for teaching positions there because they will not give me a teaching certificate because I have a criminal record, even though it doesn't matter what the hell's on it. So when I say that I'm trapped, I am financially trapped. I am subbing right now. I am working within my field to the best of my ability. I have teaching certificates to now 3 different provinces, because my BC one that I just got like a week ago or 2 weeks ago now. But in Saskatchewan and Alberta, there's just no freaking jobs. So I'm subbing, and I'm just trying to find work and just trying to pay bills and do whatever I can. And when there's not subbing, I'm going to have to be doing something else that doesn't help me get into the career that I've chosen, that I paid $60,000 in student loan debt to like get these 2 degrees that will help me achieve my goals, to get pieces of paper, to whatever else, to be a high school art teacher. Like, if there weren't jobs available, like whatever, I mean, it could be an English teacher, it could be whatever. I want to be a high school teacher. So jobs not being available is a whole other thing, and that's budget cuts and government and conservative government and whatever else is going on, and that obviously upsets me too. But I'm in this system where I don't have money to save for this $1,000 that it's going to cost me to just apply, and then have to wait, and then maybe get this thing that will help me apply for jobs in the future. It's this cyclical thing where it's like, okay, so I need to stop subbing. I need to stop subbing, and I need to go work construction and not get any more experience in my field, so that I can afford this thing. That's what I have to do. So I can, like, I have to find a job that doesn't care about my criminal record right now, that also does not give me any experience in my field, does not benefit me as a person, that possibly endangers my physical being, like working at Maple Leaf did, just so that I can try to move forward with my freaking life. And yes, I understand it's my fault. So, there we go. You know what else is awesome? That close to $300 that I spent on that application that I didn't need to spend, one, that could have gone towards Christmas, because I am going to Saskatchewan to see my mother and stepdad and friends, and introducing my girlfriend to my family and friends and whatever. I don't get to Saskatchewan very often. One, because of financial reasons. So that money could have helped with that, could help with this Christmas in general. Would have been tight. Christmas is not, like, you know, the cheapest time to be alive. That's a stupid sentence, but I can't even think right now. Anyway, also, the $300 could have contributed to me saving up for a record suspension, so that this kind of crap stops happening. But that's just part of that cycle too of subbing. I don't have enough. I never know when I'm going to get work. I never know if the money I made this month, if I can put it towards my record suspension. I just need to leave it somewhere so that, I mean, if there's extra money, so I just need to put it somewhere so that maybe next month or the month after that, when I don't get as many calls, when I don't have enough money to pay rent, that it goes for that instead. Like, yeah, damn near $300 on